Here is a deeply uncomfortable truth you're not ready for. Hard work doesn't guarantee success. In fact, if you're only focused on effort, you are probably sacrificing your time and energy for minimal returns. You've been told since childhood that effort equals reward. But if that were true, why are so many people who work 60-hour weeks still stuck in the same place? Are you confusing act? We lionize the hustle culture and the grind because it's simple, it's visible, and it makes us feel productive. But this belief is a cognitive shortcut, a comforting illusion that keeps us from confronting the true, complex drivers of success. Psychologists call the excessive, non-strategic focus on effort the effort fallacy. And once you understand it, you'll see why pushing harder is often the precise reason you're failing to break through. It's not about how many hours you work, it's about the leverage and quality of those hours. But here's where the damage of the effort fallacy gets even worse. Here's the painful part. The psychological reality is that your brain often chooses the path of maximum effort over the path of maximum impact. You tackle the easy, visible tasks first, answering every email, sitting through every meeting, because they create a feeling of being busy and hard-working. Psychology says people prefer clear, quantifiable effort over messy, high-leverage strategic thinking because thinking strategically is harder and offers no immediate reward. You are actively rewarding yourself for doing instead of rewarding yourself for achieving. This is why you end the week exhausted, but your most important goals haven't moved. And this next part explains the critical two-part concept nobody wants to admit. Effort without leverage and direction is indistinguishable from running on a treadmill. This failure to translate effort into results happens due to a simple combination of poor strategy and context. Firstly, the role of leverage. Leverage is anything that multiplies your effort. If you spend 10 hours manually updating a database, that's effort. If you spend 2 hours writing a single script that automatically updates the database for the next year, that's leverage. Successful people prioritize efforts that have a multiplicative effect. Your brain defaults to effort because it's a direct input. It takes conscious, strategic effort to step back and find the one thing that makes everything else easier. Secondly, the context trap, or the market. You can work incredibly hard building the highest quality horse-drawn buggy in the world, but your effort is worthless in a market that has already moved on to automobiles. The market, whether for jobs, business, or relationships, doesn't care about your internal effort. It only rewards external value. Your brain does this to protect you from the pain of rejection, telling you, "I failed because the world is unfair," instead of, "I failed because my effort was misdirected or my value proposition was obsolete." The reality is, your mind thinks effort is all that matters, but the reality is that what you work on is exponentially more important than how hard you work. You must find the intersection of your effort and what the world is actually willing to pay for. Example: a doctor who works 80 hours a week seeing patients has high effort. A doctor who creates a successful, scalable online course based on their specialized knowledge is using high leverage. Both are working hard, but only one is building wealth and freedom beyond their physical capacity. If that hit you, good. It means you needed to hear that your commitment to the grind might be the thing preventing your breakthrough. You need to stop celebrating activity and start celebrating impact. If you want to break the cycle of high effort and low reward, here's the mental trick that actually works. The 80-20 rule: check in. At the start of every week, force yourself to identify the 20% of tasks that will deliver 80% of your desired results. Block those tasks out first. For everything else, ask this question: Is this an effort I can eliminate, automate, or delegate? Start treating your time like your most valuable resource, because it is. By forcing your brain to prioritize impact over busy work, you shift from being a tireless worker to a strategic achiever. This is how you reclaim your time and finally see your efforts pay off.